Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack one of the most fundamental concepts in all of computer networking. It's the invisible engine that makes the entire internet tick, encapsulation. So if you've ever fired up a tool like Wireshark, you've probably seen this. You make one simple request, and suddenly you're staring at this wall of text and headers. It looks like total chaos, right? But believe me, there is a brilliant, beautiful logic to it all. The absolute best way to think about encapsulation is to imagine you're mailing a fragile gift. First, you put the gift itself into a small protective box. Then, you take that box and put it into a bigger shipping box, and you slap a mailing label on it. And finally, that box gets loaded onto a delivery truck which has its own list of where it's going. See? Each layer of wrapping has a very specific job for just one part of the journey.
Okay, so to really get why we need all this wrapping in the first place, you have to understand a core principle of how networks are designed. The whole thing is built in layers.
This layered design is all about specialization. Each layer is an expert at doing one specific job. The application layer, it just worries about what the data actually means. Like, this is a request for a web page. The transport layer is your reliability expert. Its job is to make sure all the pieces get there, and in the right order. The network layer is the global navigator, figuring out the best path across the entire internet. And the link layer, it's just the local delivery driver, getting the data to the very next stop. The most important part is they all work independently. The link layer has no idea what an HTTP request is, and frankly, it doesn't care. And that's the whole point.
And this brings up a really cool idea: peer communication. When a layer on your computer adds its wrapper, its header, it's kind of like it's writing a secret note. And that note is only meant to be read by the exact same layer on the computer at the other end. All the layers in between just pass the whole thing along without peeking at that specific note.
All right, so let's see this in action. We're going to follow a simple web request as it moves down this digital assembly line, getting all its wrappers put on one station at a time.
So it all kicks off right here. Our browser creates an HTTP message, let's say a GET request to fetch a website. At this point, it's just our raw data. This is the gift before it's been put into any of the boxes.
First, that message gets handed down to the transport layer. Let's say it's TCP. TCP wraps our message in its own header. This is a big deal. It adds things like port numbers so the other computer knows which application to deliver it to, and sequence numbers, which make sure all the data arrives safely and gets put back together in the right order. Our little piece of data is now officially called a TCP segment.
Next up, that entire segment gets passed down to the network layer. The IP protocol comes along and slaps on its header. This is like the global mailing address on the outside of the box. It has the source and destination IP addresses, which tells the internet exactly where this thing needs to go, no matter how many different networks it has to cross. And now, we call it an IP packet.
And for the final step in the wrapping process, the whole IP packet gets handed to the link layer, maybe Ethernet. This layer adds the last wrapper. You can think of this as the specific instructions for the local mail carrier, right? Just get this package from this specific house to the post office at the end of the block. It uses MAC addresses, which are only for this one immediate local hop. And now it's a frame, all bundled up and ready to be turned into electrical signals on a wire.
And this table here just perfectly sums it up. Look how the name for our data changes as it travels down the stack. It starts as a message, becomes a segment, then a packet, and finally a frame. But the whole time you got to remember, our original application message is still buried deep inside all those layers, totally safe and sound. Okay, so our perfectly wrapped package is on its way. But here's where we hit a really common misconception in networking, and it's a super important detail to get right. You'd probably think so, right? Once it's wrapped, it just goes. But the answer is a big, emphatic no. And understanding why is the key to seeing the real genius of how the internet actually works at a massive scale.
At every single router the packet hits on its journey, a little process called re-encapsulation happens. The router literally rips off that outermost layer, the link layer frame, so it can look at the IP address inside. Then, it throws that old wrapper in the trash and puts a brand new one on for the next leg of the trip.
So this is the absolute key takeaway. The inner layers, the stuff that matters for the entire end-to-end journey, like the IP addresses and all that TCP info, they stay exactly the same. But the outer wrapper, the link layer info like the MAC addresses, that changes at every single hop. Also, a little counter in the IP header called the time to live, or TTL, gets ticked down by 1 at each router just to make sure a packet doesn't get lost and loop around the internet forever.
Let's make this super concrete. On the very first hop, from your computer to your home Wi-Fi router, the frame's addresses are from your computer's MAC to your router's MAC. And the TTL value starts at, let's say, 64. Now watch what happens. When your router forwards that packet to the next router out on the internet, it strips off that old frame and builds a totally new one. Now the source MAC address is your router's, and the destination MAC is for the next router down the line. And look, the TTL is now 63. I mean, how brilliant is that design? The inner IP packet, with its final destination, is never touched. It's just the local shipping label that gets replaced at every single stop. This is what lets routers make incredibly fast, local decisions without having to waste time understanding the complex data or conversation happening inside.
So, how can you actually put this knowledge to work? Well, here's a really simple mental checklist you can use anytime you're looking at network traffic. It'll help you start to think like the network itself.
Just ask yourself these 3 simple questions. 1. What layer am I even looking at right now? 2. What's the payload here? What data from the layer above is being carried inside? And 3. Which header was just added and what problem is it solving for me? Is it for reliability, global routing, or just local delivery? If you can answer those 3 things, what once looked like a chaotic jumble of data will start telling a very clear, very logical story about a journey across the internet.
At the end of the day, encapsulation really is the invisible engine of the internet. It's such a simple, elegant idea, but it's so incredibly powerful that it allows this impossibly complex global system to work together like a single machine. It's been the foundation for decades of innovation, which really makes you stop and wonder, what kind of idea would be powerful enough to ever replace it?